what in the world are these stairs? I don't even know what they're thinking. It says my soul just fell down these stairs. Dude, I don't even know how to navigate. My name is Radon. I'm a professional dummy. After years of absolutely no training, no education, and questionable decision making, I finally decided that I'm qualified to judge humanity's greatest inventions, and unfortunately, some of you should have been stopped much sooner. So this is the first one I found for you guys. Innovative water trap disguised as public seating. As you see here, this beautiful public seat. Except here's the issue. The design is terrible. It catches water, and could you imagine, you're not looking really, you're just walking, you're on your phone one day, you're just walking around, right? You're walking, you're texting, you're doing whatever, and you sit down and you just feel just a monsoon. You just feel straight up water all over you. That'd be terrible. And with chairs like this, right? You're going to run into that. That would suck a lot. That's just terrible design for one example. Next up is this monstrosity. What it's supposed to be right here is a roundabout, but it is a not very roundabout. And as you can see, not very effective, as cars are literally having to make these sharp turns or cut corners and almost wreck into each other. Could you imagine you're cruising along, right, and you see a roundabout up ahead and you're like, oh, this is going to go smoothly, and then you have to slam on brakes because either someone's swerving out in front of you or you're the one doing the swerving because you have no idea what you're even doing. I don't know. Just think of it. It just looks so bad, man. Look at this. What are we doing here? I know many people have fallen victim to this one. Look at this. These automatic doors open. There's just a steel bar right in the middle, right? Just like the chair incident. You're just walking, you're on your phone, the doors open in front of you, and you just hit into a freaking steel beam right in front of you. That sounds like a nightmare. Sounds not very fun. My gosh, man. Oh my gosh. What are we looking at, you guys? Oh my god. So they obviously try to be clever, have sugar going down and sugar going across, and then it ends at the R, except they put two different R's in it. That's just embarrassing. Come on, man. And I like how it's sitting on display at a store still. I think what they're doing is they're hoping that no one notices, right? They're hoping someone is walking by, they see that, they'll go, oh, that's cute, and then once they buy it, they already bought it. Maybe they throw their receipt out or something, or never take a receipt in the first place, right? And they get home, and they take it out, and they see that, and they're just, bro, come on, man. Oh my god. It's so bad. It just looks so terrible. I know we're breezing through these, but just stay tuned because I got more of these coming. This stuff is wild. Look at this. What year is it? 20,026? I don't think that's going to be relevant for like a couple thousand millennia. But hey, buy it now and you'll have it, right? You'll be getting it ahead of time. You'll be ready. Come on, man. I see what they're trying to do, but it did not work. This one isn't really bad design. It's just whoever is getting this house just chose really poorly. It is bad design, but what kind of backsplash is this? It's supposed to be mystical dragons or I don't even know what I'm looking at. The caption says something like, this is what my grandmother got for her house. Or bro, I swear, sometimes these grandmothers, they have like the weirdest taste and stuff. They have walls like this, or they eat those little caramel candies, the Werther's candies. Bro, what are you doing? Yikes, this one's actually kind of funny. A token of appreciation from my boss only points down when read correctly. Obviously, it was supposed to be a thumbs up pen, but when you read the words right side up, it's a thumbs down. So it's way to go. What, bro? This one I don't even want to explain. It's supposed to say go on, you're free, but there's not enough spacing, so you know what it says. Let's just move on before we get into this too much. You guys got to look really closely at this. If you look really closely here, there's actually steps. Do you guys see that right there? There's actually steps going down. Oh my god, that is trippy. Again, let me bring up this example again. Again, you're on your phone, you're just like, oh, that's the path in front of me, and you just trip and fall. That's a serious hazard. If you're really not paying attention enough, that could be bad. Of course, you should be paying attention when you're walking, but the truth is a lot of people don't, right? So when you're on your phone walking, do you know, you got to look out for stuff like that. And you also, when you're designing stuff, you got to keep that in mind. What in the world are we doing with this? Look at this, bro. Again, I know we're breezing through these, but this is just fun. So let's just keep going with more of them. Oh my gosh. I have benches in my local area just like this one. It says my local park benches made of stainless steel, too cold to sit on in the winter, too hot to sit on in the summer. Also, this would just feel weird. This texture of like several bars, like that would just feel odd. But like, I've always been confused by that. Is it that metal holds up better than wood over a long amount of time or something? Because the thing is, I'll go to these parks and they'll be made out of pure metal, and it's like every time I sit on them, it's either freezing cold when the weather's a little colder, or it's burning hot in the summer. And the summer is when I have the most free time, right? That's when I'm going to the park more, being out, doing stuff. And sitting on those benches, it literally like, burns you up. My point is, I feel like they shouldn't make it out of metal. I don't know. I like when they're made out of that like plasticky, rubbery stuff or something. Like that one, those do absorb heat quite a bit too, but not as bad as metal does. What are we doing, bro? And I see design like this everywhere. There's got to be a genuine reason for it, but like I'm kind of just like a dummy, just this professional dummy. So I feel like I know a lot of things, but at the same time I don't, right? I can have a lot of inferences and a lot of ideas based off how things seem, but I don't really know the real reason for a lot of this stuff. All I can do is just theorize it. I guess I could look it up, but I'm too, it's effort, you know what I mean? So this is meant to be a flyer, obviously. It's supposed to say skill the child and yourself, give both of you the skills that you need. But there's a cutoff here, so it says kill the child and yourself. And it's so bad because it happens to be on something that's like learning how to swim. And not to mention the photo looks like a kid it looks like a kid who could have drowned. So that's kind of funny to me because like it happened to be about swimming. The photo above it looks like a child who drowned. That's just the worst cutoff ever. I've seen other cutoffs probably worse than that, but that is up there. This one's silly. It's not too serious, but it says circle one, even though they're check boxes. So it's like, I like how this person's kid actually ended up circling it because it said to circle it. Because like, I don't know. Because like, if you're looking at the application or whatever, or you're looking at the paperwork and you're hiring this person and you see them circle it without noticing, are you going to be like, oh, wow, they have no idea what they're doing. They can't even follow simple directions. But then you actually look closer and it says to circle it. I wonder if that got past any people and made people look dumber than they are. What in the world? These stairs at my cabin vacation feel designed to kill you. Yeah, they definitely do. Not only are they like floating in the air, but they have this weird curvature and only one side has handles and it doesn't even look that secure really. That reminds me, I went to a cabin one time and the stairs, they were a bit more secure, but they didn't have anything under it. They were just like planks coming out of the wall. And I remember feeling really uneasy because what if someone just weighs too much and just breaks through the planks, right? I didn't really have that issue, but I always had that fear, even though it was very impractical for it to happen with someone like me, just because, I don't know, when you're stepping on something like that, especially if you hear it creak or something, you're like, what? Oh my gosh. Gives you a little mini heart attack. Nothing ending up happening, but what if those stairs get old enough, right? What if they get old enough, right? The wood starts going bad or whatever. What if they actually break? And I'm curious, would you be able to pursue legal action for that? Or would you have signed a waiver somewhere saying that if you got injured in the house, they're not responsible? Or I don't know, man. What in the world are these stairs? I don't even know what they're thinking. It says my soul just fell down these stairs. Dude, I don't even know how to navigate those. Why is it like that in the first place, right? I don't know. I don't know if maybe they didn't have enough room for the last couple stairs, so they just packed as many as they could together. That's probably what happened, right? But like, who finished that? Who completed that and was like, yeah, that'll do. This is good enough. Is it someone lazy or someone who realized they had gone too far to fix it? Bro, that is a real hazard. If someone doesn't get injured on that, I'd be surprised, honestly. This one's interesting. Toyota makes decent cars too, but like Toyota, I guess this guy found out it doesn't have the driver's seat perfectly center, which is kind of weird, right? Because that means you're like off center. Imagine if my camera's over here, right? Instead of me sitting in here. You look at that and you're like, that's not right. Especially if you have to like, drive and actually use it. It's going to be off center the whole time. And maybe if you don't notice it, you'd be fine. But if you're one of those people that notices those little details or whatever, bro, that's going to really bug some people. Or could you imagine having this car stumbling across this post and you had never noticed this before, but after you saw the post, now you notice that? And now every time you drive your car, you start noticing it? Oh my god. It's like that thing where someone's like, oh, you're manually breathing right now, because you usually breathe automatically, right? But if someone says you're manually breathing, you're welcome, by the way, then you actually have to start paying attention to your breathing and breathe manually until your body goes back to automatic again. Same with like blinking and a bunch of other stuff in your body. I don't know. It's making me think of that a little bit. If someone told me my car seat was off center and I hadn't noticed, I'd be so annoyed that I would start noticing it all of a sudden every time I get in the car, man. What the heck? This is weird. So basically the buttons don't align with the actual floors. That's just terrible. So I guess this guy kept ending up on the fourth floor when he was trying to be on the second floor because he was pressing 2 but getting on floors 4 and 5 or something. Bro, I don't even fully understand what I'm looking at. Again, I'm this professional dummy on this YouTube channel. I don't know, man. I'm stupid, but I don't know. I'm really not understanding this right here. Is there something I'm missing here? Because like I don't understand this design. This KFC tender looks like a rat at first glance. That's kind of true. Also, side tangent right now. What is the deal with things getting so expensive? This inflation is crazy. I wouldn't call it hyperinflation or anything. I don't think it's to that level. But like, my God, $2.39 for a little chicken tenderloin or something, chicken breast with some bread on it. Dude, you can buy a whole pound of chicken breast for like $2.19 at my local store. And you're telling me I can buy one chicken tender? Now, of course, you're like, oh, you might be getting a sauce with it, or you're paying for the convenience. I don't know, man. You used to be able to get $1 burgers, $1 McChickens, $5 footlong at Subway, $5 pizza at Little Caesars, which is still not that far off. Shout out to Little Caesars. But like $2.39 for one chicken tender, dude. Like, what are we doing? Are we serious? I said I could get a whole pound of it. And again, I know you can say, oh, you're paying for the convenience, you're paying for the labor, you're paying for this and that, you're paying for it to be ready. I don't know, man. I still think you're paying way too much, even given all of that, because back then it wasn't nearly that bad. And I'm pretty sure the prices have raised way faster than inflation has or something like that. Same with like housing market. I could go into this forever, but like, basically my point is, why is it $2.39 for a chicken tender for one little piece of chicken where you could buy a whole pound for $2.19? What are we doing? This one's so funny. So it's a graph explaining what each of the buttons do here. So it's saying the mutes, the call button calls, the down button brings volume up. That is so funny. My guess is they're legally required, or they're required to provide some sort of graph or manual. So they literally, the icons on the item are the same icons you would use on the graphs or the manuals. My guess is it's a legal thing, because I can't see someone sitting there doing that and being like, this is helpful. I bet the person who made it was like, bro, this is so stupid. I can't believe I have to do this, but hey, I'm getting paid, so whatever. I'm just gonna leave this one here. I think it was meant to say we stand against. Let's just move on. The buttons to change temp on my fridge. Cold going down and colder going up. What does this even mean? What does this even mean, dude? I don't even understand what I'm looking at. This bed was designed to wreck my shins at night. Oh my gosh, dude. Could you imagine walking past that, walking around the corner of your bed and absolutely slamming your shin into that? Or God forbid, you're speed walking or jogging in your house to get something real quick. Oh my gosh. I've already had enough times where I've ran into the corner of a bed frame or something with my shin like that, and it's been just excruciating pain. But could you imagine this set up to do it already? It's not like, oh, you just got unlucky, you ran into the corner of your bed. Nah, this thing is sticking out on both sides. So either you're going towards the bed or leaving it, you got that risk. You gotta, and it sucks too, because you have to be mindful of it the whole time. Hopefully you can train your brain to have it in the background where you're not really thinking of it. But initially you're gonna have to keep thinking of it every time you go past it. Oh my God, that's sad. On the McDonald's Monopoly game, they removed go to jail character's whistle, but left his cheeks blowing. So he's just like blowing air, pretty much. He's not blowing into a whistle. I guess McDonald's did some crossover with Monopoly or something. I don't know. I know The Simpsons did recently. I didn't know about McDonald's. He's blowing into the whistle, but there's no whistle to be blowing into, so it's just blowing into nothing. Oh, this is sad. A nightstand overlapping with the bed to break your face while sleeping. Can you imagine tumbling over in your own bed? You feel your shoulders hit the bed, you feel your body hit the bed, but then your head just slams onto a hard surface. As you're turning, it's so soft, everything's so nice, and then your head hits it last. Bro, that would suck, especially in the middle of the night when you're like really tired. And what if you like hit your head and you're like half asleep and you don't really know what happened, so you're just like, what? And you have to comprehend it. That's just a miserable way to wake up, man. What the heck? So instead of just starting a new railing, they just decided to extend this one for the staircase. And so what ends up happening is they just block a whole section of the stairs and they just keep the railing that way. Again, these are things where if people do they just take a step back and they're just like, what did I do? How did I mess up this badly? I want to know how this happened, or how the people reacted after they did it. Something tells me it's a situation where they did it and they realized too late and they're just like, oh, well, I'm not fixing that. I already did what I had to do. Or they had to hit a deadline maybe, so when they messed it up and they were near their deadline, they're like, oh, it's too late to fix it now. I might as well just deal with it, just have it that way. Do people not get fired over this? And why don't you get rid of it if you notice? I don't know. Maybe it's not in the budget. I don't know, man. I don't control this stuff. I'm just some dummy on the internet. Oh, what the heck? So I guess this mouse was trying to have a better grip or something, or it was trying to look cooler. So like all the dust and particles and just things that are out in the world are just going to fall into it. I have a mouse right here, It's pretty chill. It has some buttons on the side, but like, it doesn't have like a bunch of dots where anything could just fall into it. And I feel like people with that trypophobia or whatever it's called, the phobia of a bunch of holes, can just run into this and just be terrified. That just looks like a nightmare waiting to happen. Oh my gosh, man. Let's do one more. So this looks like to be a blowtorch, and it looks like there's plastic melting off of it. And this guy's saying, why put meltable plastic on a thing that gets hot? Not to mention, what if it turns the plastic into some sort of liquid or wax and it drips on you while you're using it? That's gonna burn your hand, dude. That is horrible. That is terrible. Alright, you guys, that concludes today's investigation of sorts. After extensive research, several questionable observations, and absolutely no qualifications to my name, I can confidently say I've learned nothing. But I'm Radaron, the professional dummy. If you enjoyed watching me pretend to know what I'm doing, then subscribe, because I may have a lot more terrible decisions to investigate in the future, and a lot more interesting videos coming. So just stay tuned, stay subscribed, and thank you guys for watching so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.